Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive, Book One, The Way of Kings. The opening prologue follows an assassin taking someone out, which basically sets in motion a whole bunch of stuff. The assassin takes out a king. It takes place in a world that's ravaged by storms, and there's magic, there's politics. So you basically follow three principal characters, your like point of view characters. You start with Kaladin, who is leading this sort of small band of soldiers. Um, Something happens that I won't go into, but he basically ends up being a slave. This is kind of his book. So I was doing a bit of research because I'm looking forward to reading the others. And each of these books has a kind of central character where you get more of their backstory fleshed out. You also follow Shallan, who's in a completely different part of the land, who her father has died recently. Her family are in a bunch of debt. So she goes to this sort of like scholarly place to study under this woman called Jasna, who can an item that allows her to essentially manipulate material. And Shallan's like, right, if I can steal that, I can go back to my family. We can figure out how to use the item. We can create the resources we need to start making money. You got that going on. And then the third point of view character is someone called Dalinar, who is quite high up in the military. He is uncle to the king, the king who has kind of like ascended after the assassin at the start. That king is quite young and very paranoid, thinks that someone's coming after him. Dalinar has this history of being this like really well-renowned fighter, but now as he's getting older, he's started getting these visions of a book called The Way of Kings. Sanderson writes in a way that is very accessible. So even though like it's a lot of like big ideas that are happening, and like I said, like there's a political system, there's a magic system, there's history to this land. It's it never feels like it's being delivered in exposition dumps. I gave this 4.5 out of 5. So it is incredibly good. I wouldn't necessarily say start here as your first Brandon Sanderson book, but if like me, you're reading them in sort of publication order, I was intimidated to start this because of how long it is, but it is worth it.